Hey everybody, welcome to the Pastor's Buzz. This is episode quattro.
Ooh, there you go.
So, and we have an honored guest with us.
Thank
This
you.
is Dee Bynum.
Hello.
Dee is what's commonly referred to as the office manager at our church.
Yes.
But if you don't know, what that really means is she is the pastor to the pastors and to the staff here, because her office is always filled with one of us, processing,
Yes.
dare I say, venting sometimes.
Sometimes venting. Sometimes
and
venting.
Dee is full of wisdom, and so it's only right that we have her on the Pastor's Buzz. And we have a great question from one of our fans, because you have fans now.
Ooh.
And that question is, how do you forgive yourself?
Ooh.
Which is an awesome question.
It is an awesome question.
So-
It's awesome.
Being that you're the honored guest,
Thank you, Mitch.
would you please?
I will. I am honored to be here, and I'm honored by this question. How does one forgive oneself? And wow, that's a life journey kind of a question. And for a little bit of, very small bit of background for y'all who might not know me, I am a divorced and remarried person, and so self-forgiveness has been a big part of my journey in that. And I think that for me, in those moments when I'm thinking negative thoughts about myself, or
The past is creeping in.
does it not? It does creep in. Then I have a few very practical things that I do. When I catch myself in one of those moments, I stop and I take a very deep breath and I let it out, and I say to myself the name of God, which is Yahweh. If you go, is it Hebrew? I don't want to say it wrong, because there's a pastor here, a real one.
Yeah.
And my understanding of what I've learned was that is how in Hebrew they would describe breathing in and breathing out, in inhalation and exhalation. So it's Yahweh. And so I remember that God dwells in me. And I believe that God dwells in me, and He dwells in you, and He dwells in everyone. And so when I remember that I am His precious child, who is sacred and beautiful to Him and in His sight, how can I withhold forgiveness from myself? And then when I can release that, then that allows me to then be a conduit for God and for the Spirit to be loving and forgiving to others, and to honestly, to the reality for where I am. Because a lot of what comes up with forgiveness is the past, as you say, comes creeping in. One thing we can say with complete certainty is we cannot change the past.
We cannot.
There is not a thing we can do about it. You could have all the power in the world and you cannot change it. And that is actually very freeing when you can live into that and remember that there is nothing you can do to change something that happened, but how can I respond going forward? How am I going to respond going forward? That's so much of what I believe our faith walk is responding in love to ourselves, which then frees us to love others, and that is exactly what Jesus wanted us to do. That's what we're called to do. It's not for the weak at heart.
No.
But thank goodness we have a big God and
Yes.
a mighty Spirit lives within us. Resurrection power, baby.
I think the other big thing, absolutely, the other big thing about forgiveness is it is very difficult to forgive ourselves when we're holding on to something in shame or in
Yes.
secrecy. And a lot of that is what happens, right, is when when part of our life doesn't go the way we thought it was going to go, our instinct is to try to hide that.
Oh, yes. I agree
And
completely.
It is very, very difficult to accept forgiveness from anyone and yourself when you've kept something a secret.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
one of the things that the Bible says, the path to healing is actually through confession,
Yes.
of laying it out there.
Yes.
This is my life. This is what went wrong. This is how I screwed up.
Yeah.
And just that act of saying it and owning it
Oh my gosh.
is the first step to being able to accept forgiveness from God and from
Absolutely.
ourselves.
I agree.
So that would be my encouragement to anyone who is struggling
sure.
with forgiving themselves is to challenge them. Have you really put it out there
Yeah.
with yourself, with God, and with another person? Have you been
Yeah.
brave enough, and had the courage to own it and to
Yeah.
say, this is where I'm at.
Absolutely.
And if you can do that, that will take you a long way
Oh,
into
it
the path of
certainly will.
forgiveness. So
Absolutely, I agree.
anyway, that was
That's good.
a fabulous question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we love y'all. You are
We
forgiven.
do.
We are forgiven.
Yes, we are. You are precious and sacred to God and
Yes.
in the sight of all. And come on by my office sometime. I'll make you a cup of coffee and we'll
Yes.
have a visit.
Visit the pastor of pastors.
Yeah, we'll keep it confidential. It's all good.
Until next time, Pastor's Buzz, out.